United Way wouldn't exist without the labor movement. For 90 years, it's been really effective and successful in having major impact in making it possible for programming to run to support vulnerable community members.
The United Way is providing critical resources to British Columbians right here in this province, making sure that there are after-school opportunities for kids, making sure that there are free menstrual products for those individuals who need them, making sure that there's food accessible and healthy throughout the province. All of British Columbia benefits from the work of the United Way.
The partnership that exists between Labour and United Way is all about making it easier for organized labor, unions, labor councils, the Labour Congress, the BC Federation of Labour, and United Way as an important, meaningful charity in the nonprofit sector to have impact together in community.
When I think of the United Way and the partnership with Labour, it means that we have communities that are more inclusive, that function better, that are more supportive of workers and of community members.
It's a very natural relationship because the United Way does so much amazing work for people in community. And often those are unionized workers, their families, people they know, their neighbors.
So there's like a fundamentally shared value there, and so it's a kind of a perfect fit.
The Campaign Associate Program is a very unique program to United Way where unions will loan us members from their union to come and work at United Way for a 16-week period where they fundraise, public speak, event plan, all these really cool things. So by loaning those staff people to come and work at United Way, it keeps our overhead costs low so that we can pour that money back into community.
Being unionized, they know what's important for their labor partners. And so when we're talking, it's that worker lens that you don't get from other organizations necessarily all the time.
The ways that we are connected directly to the labor movement is through participation at labor councils, building training programs, and running training that will really support the development of skill sets and capacity within the labor movement.
What we want to be able to do is allow our members to be engaged in whatever way they can in the community. The United Way provides a way to do that.
Union members are community members. They don't want just what's good for them. They want to make the world better for everybody, right? They want to lift everyone up in community, including the folks that United Way provides services for.
We help children and youth in communities across the province, so we provide barrier-free access to out-of-school time programs. We provide access for youth leadership across our communities. We've been most recently in the last 3 years working in emergent response, and that's supporting communities who have found themselves in a crisis, so floods, fire, COVID, and we respond in those early days when not a lot of other responders are there, and then also understand what long-term recovery efforts are required. So we want to be there for them, not only when the spotlight is there, but when it fades.
One of our reasons for choosing the United Way is because United Way has these deep-seated relationships with the organizations in those areas, for example, in the Fraser Valley when the flooding happened. And so that's why we chose to make a donation to the United Way to help those folks in the Fraser Valley during those floods.
The way that the United Way was able to quickly innovate and create the Food Hub program during the pandemic was a great thing, and I thought that was pretty successful.
We've been involved in a number of their campaigns, but I think the one that is most prominent in my memory is the period poverty campaign that they held.
There was a desperate need for products for people who menstruate in schools or community centers, and the unions were like, yeah, we're in, like, sign us up.
Our members collected over 100,000 products as well as many donations and things like that. And so, that was a really great way for us to be involved with one of the bigger campaigns that we've had with United Way.
I think it's fair to say that United Way wouldn't exist without the labor movement. The entire way that we've operated for the 90 plus years that we've been in the Lower Mainland has been through the model of working with workers to generate funds and redistribute those funds to community organizations or to programming that United Way runs. And for 90 plus years, it's been really effective and successful in having major impact in communities.
The United Way is here, both supporting labor and also advancing the cause of making better communities. That's really what we all want, is that everybody's able to provide for their family and not be worried about the future.
If we do that in solidarity with one another for community, it's going to be more successful.
If you're a union member, a union leader, or future leader of a union, give me a call and let's have a conversation. I can share you what United Way is doing, but I'd also love to hear from you on what you'd like to do in community so that we can collectively have a broader impact.